Warning, the following video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Welcome to the Creepy Parlour, where we delve into the dark side with an undercurrent of light-hearted fun. Our discussions will explore gothic, macabre, or creepy topics. The first Tuesday of every month, we will host a haunted happy hour where you can join us for a group conversation that focuses on ghosts, weird events, urban legends, and more. Here at the Creepy Parlour, our subject matter may be spooky, but our spirits are high. You can catch the Creepy Parlour every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on WLFE DB Radio.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Creepy Parlour. I'm Genevieve, and I'm absolutely ecstatic that you're spending the next hour with us. My guest tonight is one of my very favorite musicians, and I'm truly honored that he agreed to be on the show tonight, especially considering that it's going to be my last show for a little while. So we're really going out with a nice bang. So without any further delay, I'm going to welcome Andy Deane, and he can do a little introduction of himself. Welcome,
Hello.
Andy.
Hey.
Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is really cool.
This is awesome. So I forgot to mention that we will be able to pull up comments too. So once we got Jillian watching so far, she's screaming. Hi, Patricia. We've got Robin Joan watching. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Creepy Parlour. So excited for tonight. So real quick, I actually first heard your music as The Rain Within at the V&V shows when you were touring with V&V.
Yeah.
And was absolutely blown away.
Oh, thank you.
And one of the things that I love about it so much is that I'm like an 80s, 90s goth chick. So you've got that nice nostalgia from that time period, I think. But it's all new stuff, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, I always say that, like, because, some of my music heads over into, like, synthwave territory, and I think that a lot of times with a lot of this, like, resurgence of synthwave and stuff, it's like everybody wants 80s music again, but with more low-end.
Yes.
Like, with, like, modern recordings, and
Yep.
And, yeah, it's a lot of fun to write that stuff, especially because I grew up listening to Duran Duran, Depeche Mode, and all that, all the new wave
good stuff.
Was
Duran Duran was like my gateway.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Jillian's gonna be a punk. She's. Can you please sing me some Silence and the Sea? I have to say that is one of my favorites, partly because I live like a block from the beach. So that is a good one.
I freaking love the ocean. On my I actually have a version of that song on my Patreon that's just me and the vocoder, which is really fun to do. And I'm thinking about breaking that out at shows at some point, just doing it in that fashion, doing it really slow and quiet, and I also plan on re-recording that song at some point, which some people will love and some won't. You get used to like the original version, but I've gotten just time. You get better at recording and techniques and everything like that. I've got a much better vocoder now, and so I want to do a re-recording of the song because I love it too, but I'd love to update it, and it'd be same tempo, same format, but the sounds would be a little different. Because
that would be amazing.
So I'm going to try it, and people can love it or hate it, because I know that for me, sometimes I get married to the original, and no matter how good the thing that comes along later is, you still love the original. But Yeah.
It's again the nostalgia.
Exactly. Everybody loves everybody's first album, and then everything else is crap, you know.
Yeah. You mentioned Patreon. Well, actually, before we get into all that stuff, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about your background, and because you got a long background.
Yeah. I mean, started playing. I started bands in high school. My first touring band was Bella Morte, and we got on the road in the late '90s. Very late '90s, like '99, I think. I think 2000 was like our first tour with the True Shadows, and
That's great.
And we're still going. We're like definitely in a holding pattern right now, like with COVID and everything. We got one new song out last year called "Runaway," and it went on the Electronic Saviors compilation. So we just like donated it to charity, and but I've been a horror fan since I was like a little kid, like since I was a really little kid. And that's been the one constant through my whole life, regardless of what I'm listening to, what I'm doing. Like horror movies have always been my first love, and but getting back to music, like with writing with a band or a group of people, like you wait for those people to get their parts done and stuff like that. And I think I started The Ring Within kind of because first off, the music I was writing didn't necessarily. I didn't want to like screw up what Bella was doing by like turning us into like this '80s synthwave band when it's not what we were.
Yeah.
And I started writing on my own, and I realized, oh my god, I can write so fast if I'm just by myself, and then I can get all this other material out and not mess up this other project. And now, after The Rain took off quick, and I've done great with that, and because I write songs so often and so quickly, that's what got me into Patreon. Just kind of this. So every month of my life now, and I've been doing this for over 3 years, but every month of my life, I write, record, mix, and master 2 new songs. And that's on top of like what I'm writing for my albums.
That's amazing.
So that's my life now. It's like a lot of freaking songwriting.
Otis, we're going to get to the horror in a little bit. Don't worry. I just have to say hi to my mom. Hi, Mom. So Patreon, I think that we've mentioned that just a few times, but I always say jokingly, but honestly, Patreon is the best money I spend every month. It's absolutely the best investment I've made.
I definitely make me happy. I definitely go that extra mile. Like, it's important. Like,
it's obvious. And just so you guys know, Andy's Patreon website is running along the bottom.
Hey.
You can sign up for what, as little as $2 a month?
Yeah. And then for the $2 a month thing, you sign up for the dollar category because it's 2 songs, so $2. So it's like $24 a year and you get 24 songs. And I give away some freebies.
Yeah, you get a lot more than that too. I mean, I think one of the greatest things about supporting an artist on Patreon is that you get to see a bit into that creative process.
It's funny, but I feel so much like my posts on Patreon, I feel so much more open there. It's like talking to family or something because everybody's so engaged. So I'm much more personal on Patreon than I would be on like Facebook, which is just kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, everybody's there for the same reason, right? We're all there because we support the music. We want to hear more music, and it's just such a great environment.
It's a lot of fun, and it's kind of like it's finding those people that are really like hardcore into what you're doing. It's kind of like I always feel like with any band at any point, like there's going to be a huge portion of your audience that's like, I'm enjoying this right now and this is cool. And it's not like your screams. Oh, there you went. But it's not like hitting them in the heart or necessarily like changing their world. And that's awesome. Enjoying it on any level is freaking great. There's no wrong way to do it. But I feel like Patreon boils it down to those people where like they get it and they really get it, And
absolutely. Yes, Mikey, you can check Andy out. You can find him on YouTube with The Rain Within or Bella Morte.
Yep.
And you can also check him out on Patreon. Huge advocate of Patreon. So I think that's another cool thing too, is that, you know, when we talked earlier last week, I was mentioning that one of my favorite songs on Patreon is Snow. And I was like, that song just kills me. And it cracked me up because you're like, yeah, that's what they're supposed to do.
Duh.
Well, duh. So a lot of your lyrics really do, like, that song itself is just a beautiful ghost story.
Love writing ghost stories. I actually have
That's my thing.
Another song that's a new ghost story about a guy that moves into an old house, and every night at midnight he hears music playing from the other room, and it's like the ghost of someone, like this woman playing a piano, and he like kind of falls in love with her even though he doesn't know her, just from the sound of the music. And so I'm working on that right now.
Awesome. And that like goes back to, I think ghost stories are just so beautifully romantic. And people make fun of me for that, but I think that it's like it is romantic.
It really is. Yeah, I don't find anything more romantic, because there's something about adding that little bit of sadness, that little bit of tragedy, that little bit of hope, like all together. Like, and that idea of impossibility is kind of beautiful too. That idea of we want this to happen, but it can't be. There's something, that longing is I think it's beautiful.
And there's that eternity aspect too. It's like that eternal, like we've gone on further than just here.
Right. Yeah, it's awesome. And some of my favorite movies are ghost stories, so
Oh, definitely. Did you watch The Banishing on Shudder?
I believe I did.
With the old manor house?
Shudder.
Yeah.
What was that one about again? Because I watched so many movies.
It was the old English manor house, and a young pastor moves in with his family, and of course the little girl starts seeing the ghosts first.
Yes, I did. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I did too.
I liked The Banishing. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I was like, you have to. I watch horror movies like every day.
Yeah.
What didn't I see? But yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, I just recently watched that one last weekend. That was a good time.
Ghost Story comes out. I think that those slow ghost stories where you don't have big action sequences or big special effects or kills or anything like that, I think they're the hardest thing to make, because you have to find a director that can keep your interest without those normal beats.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's getting slow. Well, let's have this thing go, bah!
No, I like the ones where you just see something passing in the background and you're like, did I see that?
Totally. Like, some of my favorite movies, like The Others, or The Awakening was freaking great. The Orphanage, House of Voices, like The Changeling, the original Changeling from 1980, like so many.
That one is so good.
Yeah, the original Changeling changed how ghost stories are made. Like, so many movies have like borrowed from that film since. Like The Ring borrowed a lot from The Changeling, and
The Ring was good too.
Anytime you see like the red ball bouncing toward you, straight out of The Changeling, like.
Yes. I'm trying to catch up on some of the comments. This is our friend Little Bit. She's gonna make us laugh all night. She's the best.
Awesome. Well, hello.
Yeah, she's saying Andy. Oh, Little Bit, there you go. But yeah, to Otis's point here, I don't know if it came up yet. My computer seems to be a little bit slow. The imagination is scarier than reality. I think so. Absolutely.
It can be, like, until Leatherface is chasing you through the woods with a chainsaw. Then you're like, maybe reality's a little scarier. Maybe.
But that's one of the things that I really like about doing. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was saying only under those extreme circumstances.
Yes. But that's one of the things that I love about doing my ghost tours, as opposed to doing like really scary haunted houses, is that I like that. I like just kind of like planting those seeds of
Yeah.
fear.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's awesome. Like, I think that's really cool.
It's something I'm very proud of.
You should be. If I'm ever up there, take that tour.
Yes, you are. You'll be up for Dark Side of the Con, right? You have that coming up?
Yeah. Next year. It's so crazy. I've been booked for that for like 2.5 years or something now. Feels like,
I know.
and they're like, no, this date, no, this date, no, this date. And I'm like, I'll just be there whenever. You guys just nudge me, you know.
Yeah, I'm actually doing a panel presentation for that.
Oh, cool. What's it on?
Edgar Allan Poe.
Very cool.
Yeah, doing a whole, like, you know, everyone's got that whole mythology about Poe and what they want to believe that he was, but I'm going to spoil that a little bit and talk about what he actually was.
I live right here in Charlottesville.
Oh, he went to school there.
Yeah, he went to school here, and like up at the University of Virginia, his actual dorm room, they put a glass door on it, so you can like walk up and look in and see, like, it's decorated. You know, it's the furniture and everything's of his period. It's what it would have looked like, you know, potentially while he was there. So that's kind of cool.
That is pretty cool.
If I remember correctly, you can push a button and it'll give you a little, like, Edgar Allan Poe lesson, but I think it's like insanely inaccurate. Like, because I can't remember his history, but didn't he like get kicked out or drop out for like drugs or something? I can't remember.
No, his foster father, I can give you the whole lesson, but I won't take up too much time. His foster father had this thing against him and did not want to support him because he wanted to be a writer and a linguist. His foster father wanted him to take over the tobacco business that he ran. So there was a lot of contention throughout the relationship, and he ended up gambling because he didn't have enough money to pay for his debts in school. He was so poor that he ended up burning his furniture in his dorm room to keep warm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
and yeah, it's very tragic. His life, I have actually his signature on my arm. His life was pretty tragic. I mean, everyone knows that it's tragic, but it was more than we think. But
that's cool.
So it probably was a little bit inaccurate. They were probably talking about opium and stuff like that, which may or may not have played a role in his life, but not as much as people think.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you'll have to go to the panel then to hear all about it.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'd love to.
So we've got a lot of people popping in to say hi. That's awesome. Hey, everybody.
Double hellos. So
I am running the Rain Within band camp down the bottom. I know Mikey was asking if we can find music.
You can listen to all of it.
Yeah. And I'm getting a message here that my video keeps fritzing out, and I think that it might be because it's so hot here that nothing is working right.
Yeah, occasionally you turn into weird fuzzy green lines. I thought you were actually.
Oh, cool.
That was a power of yours. You're like, now I'm fuzzy green lines.
That would be awesome. Like the lasers. It's my own lasers.
Like, I want to go to the thing you turn into and go there, here, or, you know.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's probably because Jill's saying it's like laser hands.
Yay! I could have brought those for this, but I'd have to fog up the room. They don't work without fog, you know.
That's a bummer.
Can't really see the laser.
They're definitely very memorable, and I think that if you go on YouTube, you can find some of Andy's live performances with the laser hands.
Yep, they're fun.
Mikey's saying he thought that Max Headroom was going to come out. So we got Dark Side of the Con. We got Dark Side of the Con coming up in 2022, right?
Yeah.
And you've got the Gothic Cruise coming up.
Yeah, September. Definitely looking forward to that. Being on a boat. It's so funny, but even if it wasn't like the Gothic Cruise, I freaking love being on cruises. Because I think this is like I can't remember, 4th or 5th time I've performed on the Gothic Cruise. And it's just so much fun. I mean, just like, it's like cruises are so tacky. Like, they're so tacky and corny, but like, I just love it. Like, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
I did one cruise one time, and at first I was like, oh, I don't want to do it. When I got home, I was like annoyed that nobody was taking my plates away. I'm like, why is nobody cleaning up after me? I don't understand. So we'll get back to all that stuff, but we have to listen to Jillian and say, can we talk about Horror Show? Because that was the thing that made me reach out to you, is that you do have a new album coming out.
Yeah. So that's the new Rain Within album. It's called Horror Show, and it's coming out. We haven't got a solid date yet. We thought it was going to be October 5th, but now it might be, or something like that, but now it's going to be sometime between October 5th and the 23rd. It's kind of
wow.
At this point, it's up to like the distributor at this point. And thank you a little bit. And,
she's the best.
Right.
She is the best.
But the album's coming out on Negative Gain, and it's my most aggressive, visceral album yet. It's definitely got a lot of horror themes, a lot of like, it's still melodic because that's what I do. You know, I love working with melody a lot, but this album hits a lot harder than anything I've done previously with The Rain Within. So
excellent.
Like, you'll catch a lot of these little moments of like very horror themed sounding stuff, kind of like, like Halloween with little like moments like that over chord progressions and stuff. It's a heavier album. I'm really excited about it. I'm about to start shooting some videos. I just got a gimbal in the mail, so I'm going to try to learn all this stuff.
Ooh, I need one of those. I definitely need one of those. Jillian says she went on a cruise with someone from Charlottesville in 2018 and she wasn't sober the entire time.
I don't drink, so I mean, I don't remember.
So you said somewhere around Halloween that should be out then, right?
Yeah, you got it. Sometime in the month of October, it's coming.
The month of Halloween.
The month of Halloween.
It's the best time of year.
Damn right. Like, I'll be so happy for this hot weather to go away. Like, I love the fall. Like, I just love it. Best time of year, prettiest time of year. Like, love it.
I mean, obviously, I love Halloween because that's what we do.
Of course.
But I can't stand the impending winter.
I'm okay with winter. I like winter all right. Like, I even like snow. I'm a maniac, you know?
Well, you guys don't get much snow in Virginia, right?
No, but you have to take everything like everything's relative. Like for example, the same amount of snow in Chicago that wouldn't even like wouldn't even slow traffic for 10 seconds would shut down Virginia for a day or two. It's there's no reason for a place like this that doesn't get a lot of snow to spend a ton of money in infrastructure. Like,
it's different.
And people in northern states are going to be a little better at driving in it because they have more practice. So you just, it's just a little different. When we do get snow, it matters,
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely don't get it like the northern states.
No. Which that brings me back to my favorite song, Snow. So
segue.
Yes. Check out Patreon. You will get a totally different experience on Patreon than you normally get from following a musician just online or just buying their music on Bandcamp. Because you get that conversation and you get to see that whole, like, the entire process, really. I mean, you're pretty open about your whole process on there.
Big time. And think like right now, if somebody signed up for like $2 and only stayed a month, they would get access to like 100 and some odd unreleased songs immediately. So it's a decent deal.
Have you thought about putting them on an album and releasing them?
Absolutely. Right now, I am collecting songs and remastering some from my instrumental project, Small Precious Lights. I would like to make an official Small Precious Lights release. And then my like kind of witch house, sort of spooky, very dark project called God Spare No Better. That I want to put an album out at some point. And then my like the guitar driven gothy stuff I do on there, like I want to do an album of that. And all of it's going to eventually happen, and especially after horror show's in the bag and it's out and on shelves. Like once that's done, I can start thinking, okay, what's next? So, and
well, that's another.
After the album comes out, at some point, I'm going to drop my Rihanna cover finally to the public as a
finally.
Single. So
that's the one that you do live, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Umbrella. I love the song. So it's a really fun cover.
It is. It is. That was one of the things that really stuck out when we first saw you at V&V.
Nice.
Yep. But that's another interesting thing too with Patreon is that you have all those different projects that are, I guess, produced or recorded under different project names. So it's almost like you've got totally different sounds for each of these projects.
Yeah, and it keeps things interesting for me too. And one of the problems I've always had is my like focus on one project. Mm-hmm. And having all these like projects does for me is it allows me not to muddy up what I'm doing with like The Rain Within, because I'm adding a song to it that doesn't necessarily fit, Mm-hmm. So.
No, that's awesome. And they're definitely very distinct.
Right. Yeah.
We are going to take a very quick break because it's almost 7:30 and I don't want to interrupt our discussion on horror movies. So we're just going to take a really quick break. I think. Let's see. Technology's not working.
I'll just dance. Ta-da! There you are. There you are.
Something is wrong with my computer. So, yeah, before we go back into all that, everyone, please check out WLFE-DB.com. We have all sorts of great content. If you check out our little icon up here, we are also a Safe Space Network. So reach out to us if you need anything. We are supportive of all of everybody. So please check us out. And also, Also, check out Psycho Bunny, Psychomantium 13, and PBDC TV for all sorts of great content artists over there as well. Jillian's telling me that it's because I don't have an air conditioner in the room that I'm in, and because I'm a sadist.
Yeah, and like you've lost your mind. Like,
yeah,
the AC on like 67, and then a fan like basically on me. like I think I'm gonna like, if I died in bed, I would probably stay preserved for like 150 years if the power stayed on. like wouldn't look any different. I have a great friend in high school, and when he would crash at my place, he always referred to my room as the pits of Neptune.
It's never that cold here, except in the winter because my house is so old that the breeze just passes right through the house.
Nice.
Good times, good times. It's charming. It's just very old.
Right. Charming.
Maybe charming. That's exactly what they sold me on. They're like, it's charming. It's got the heart. Actually, this is how crazy I am. One of the reasons I fell in love with my house is because it has wide plank hardwood floors.
Yeah.
So I thought of the Telltale Heart and putting the body in. I was like, I need the house. That's it.
That makes perfect sense to me. I don't know if that says good or bad things about both of us, but
hey, it is what it is.
Go with that, yeah.
So on that note, nice good segue into horror. So do you have a favorite? I know we talked a little bit about ghost stories. Do you have a favorite horror movie, all in all horror movie?
So there are a few. It's hard to make like a single like favorite overall because there's so many different subgenres and stuff. But I would give a real quick nod to the French film by Pascal Laugier called Martyrs. That is way up on my list. Not the U.S. remake, which is really, really awful, but the original French version is gorgeous, brutal and different. Other films I like absolutely love are Let the Right One In.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, once again, the original foreign version of the film. Great book, too. But that's one of my favorites. As far as a movie that's... One thing that I've really fallen in love with as I've gotten older is like horror-adjacent films. Like films that aren't really horror, but they have those elements. Like there's a movie called A Ghost Story.
It's one of my favorites.
That is right there with you. And I know for some people that like the movie's too slow. For me, it's perfect. Like, that movie's perfect beginning to end for me. It's beautiful, and I cry every time with the scene with the two ghosts looking at each other.
Yes.
Like, every time. It's beautiful. Like, I don't want to give it away, but it's such a gorgeous... Even if you don't like the movie, if you wait for that scene, at least, it's so gorgeous.
And never mind, I don't want to give it away either because...
I know, right? It's such a neat concept that... And that director, David Lowery, the thing I'm really excited about seeing this summer is The Green Knight is coming out. That's his next,
cool.
And it's like a fantasy King Arthur supernatural thing, and the trailer looks gorgeous.
Oh, I love the King Arthur stuff.
Yeah. But last year, a great horror movie that came out and kind of flew under the radar, and it is on Shudder right now, which is easy to find a free 7 to 30-day trial. But there's a movie called The Dark and the Wicked that came out.
Oh, I gotta write that down.
It's so freaking good. I think I saw it at the theater 3 times. So freaking good. And last week, 2 days in a row, I saw a new horror movie called Censor that I really love. That's still in theaters. And once again, anything I recommend, though, everybody, take with a grain of salt. Because I love slow movies. Like when people walk out, like when I see a review of a film online and people are like, that was really slow and pretentious. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta see that. I love horror movies that crawl and take their time and they're not worried about jumping out at you. Under the Skin, really great sci-fi horror with Scarlett Johansson.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
Just the name, it sounds disturbing.
Dark. Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's really great film, but I think it's her best movie, so.
I like the slow and steady types of movies because I feel like they just kind of pull you out of reality, and that's what I need a movie to do.
I'm right there with you. And I grew up, like, I got into horror so young that, like, I grew up with, like, trauma, watching trauma films, and of course the slashers of the 80s, like, Halloween, Friday 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and stuff like that. And I still enjoy that stuff, but for me, that stuff is it's more of a, like, watch it with friends because it's kind of funny and campy,
Yeah.
As opposed to something like a ghost story where I, like, want to sink into it. Oh, another great, one of my very favorite movies of all time, another horror adjacent film with just slight elements of horror. It's a Viggo Mortensen film from, like, I believe the early 90s called The Reflecting Skin. And very odd. And it's got a David Lynch feel to it. And it's, but it's not like whacked out David Lynch. Like, what am I watching? But it's beautiful. So The Reflecting Skin would be another one I'd recommend. So
everybody's getting all sorts of good horror recommendations tonight.
Oh, I saw Otis said Slither. Slither was so much. That's what's his name? Guardians of the Galaxy director. James Gunn.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, he directed Guardians of the Galaxy. He directed Slither. And I believe his first film was for Troma, and it was called Tromeo and Juliet.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Great. Yeah.
I don't know why I can't get these comments off. Do you still see a comment? What the heck's going on with my computer?
I did see a comment, but I do not see a comment currently.
It's probably because it's 100 degrees.
It's extremely rude.
Well, we got...
Ooh, hello.
Billy, why does your friend think it's okay to be green?
You just totally broke up and my dogs are screaming. What? It's my house. Welcome.
Welcome.
I'm going to mute you, Jill.
What's your backdrop there, Jillian?
It's the Sinister Sisters backdrop.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, we're taking a little break from Sinister Sisters too, for now. Because like I said, I just have so many things going on. And then Ghost Tour is starting next month too. So
yeah, yay! World opening back up. Go to hell, Delta variant.
I loved everything being shut down. I had an excuse for everything.
I will say I did have a lot of time to be productive on my music. Like, that part was really awesome.
Now people like have parties and want you to go to them.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, they got a lot of nerve.
Like, I don't leave my house. What are you talking about?
Expects me to go anywhere. Like, I have a few friends I go to movies with, and that's like my jam, But being at home working on music in an ice cold dungeon is my.
Well, when you're super popular like I am, you get invited to everything.
I get it. But I hear it's very hectic.
And we also have QXTs that just reopened up here.
The great venue right there.
Yes. I'm not ready.
Right.
I don't think I'm ready yet either. No? I don't think so.
I'm all done. So I'm good to go, but at the same time, I'm like you. I don't really care to go anyway. Though my favorite local restaurant place I've been going since I was like high school shut down.
No, they didn't survive.
Didn't make it.
Oh, that sucks.
Still, it's a shop called Little John's, and I can still taste it.
That's a shame.
Yeah, that is a shame.
10th grade, which was like in the. I'm that old now.
It was in the 12s.
Get out of here.
I know she doesn't want me here at all.
A little bit runs the show.
She's like, screw these ladies' faces. She just wants an Andy show all the time.
I mean, that's why we're all here.
I'm being asked to Vogue, but I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to.
Vote?
Vogue.
Oh.
Ooh,
I'm done.
She told me she would kick me out if I vogued, but my fans want what my fans want.
There's nothing to do about that.
So we do our Sinister Sisters show, and literally half the show is Jillian going off and doing her Vogue thing because people are asking her to do that. So I have to keep yelling at her to refocus.
Let's be honest, it's not people.
It's not people.
It's one person.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, it's one person.
It is all it takes. But the focus is on Andy. So
no, but it was the coolest thing ever for you to allow us to use your music for our intro. I was so excited. It was awesome.
No, I was
awesome.
Really happy. I thought that was really cool. I'm always happy to help.
And it's a Patreon song, people, so get it.
Yes.
Nobody else outside of Patreon's ever even heard it. So,
well, all 4 of our followers have heard it. So, so it's Patreon plus 4.
There you go.
There you go. We were we would listen to like the beginning part of it, and we'd be dancing, and then the music would stop and the video would stop, and we'd be caught every time, like every week.
Nice.
It'd be like an 80s freeze frame, like, oh.
I can't see. There you go.
It seems like you disappear whenever you put up a comment.
I know. It's got to be something with the bandwidth, or maybe the fact that it's literally 113 degrees in this room.
That's insane.
It's
shouldn't
okay.
Be anywhere outside of the center of the earth, in my opinion. But
it's fine.
Tomorrow,
no one's here to see us. They're all here to see Andy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when mankind shifts off to Mars, you're gonna be like, this is nothing.
Yeah, when we all boil into baked potatoes. I'll be
so what else we have going on? We briefly talked about the Gothic cruise. We talked about Dark Side of the Con.
Yep.
We got horror show. I saw that you were working on some more stuff for Patreon the other day.
I am my July is so insanely busy that this week, I went nuts, buckled down and was writing stuff. So I finished 2 songs in 2 days. Basically, I had to do some touch-up work on a third day, but 2 songs, and I really love both of these tracks. One of them is 80s and very 80s, but not in a Rain Within way. It's much more of a psychedelic furs type of thing with
excellent.
Yeah, or Echo and the Bunnymen or something. It's kind of that feel to it.
Can get down with that.
And then one of them sounds like early Bella with Rain Within elements and stuff. So, and I today started working on a third track because I'm trying to get ahead.
Wow.
So much of my July is already eaten up with other projects. So.
Oh, You're Hungry Like the Wolf cover is.
Yeah, those did great. The reaction to release.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, I released Rain Within covers of Duran Duran's "Hungry Like the Wolf" and
so good.
Time After Time, and
so good.
A lot of attention. That was awesome. It made me think. I was I should keep releasing covers throughout the year. It's kind of fun.
Because it changes the whole way that song sounds. It's your take on it is so different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I try to do that. It's funny, but outside of my Rihanna cover, which is actually pretty loyal to the original version of Umbrella, but most of them I'm I really want to take this in a different direction because the other person already did it that way.
Right.
The original already sounds like that. Nobody needs another one. And but the person I've covered most, I've done 2 covers of Celine Dion. So
there was more room on that door.
That covered both my
Bella
and then recently covered Ashes with the Rain Within. So she's the leading candidate right now for my covers, but
Do you have any other covers you're thinking about?
Always. I don't have anything in the works right now. I've been doing, like I said, I've been working on a lot of songs, and I've gotten a whole ton of over the last month. I've gotten so many remix requests that has been that's been eating up a whole lot of time. Oh, Don Lee, the cover of Soma, covered my
That is excellent.
many years covered my favorite Smashing Pumpkins song. I love.
Lauren.
Hi, Lauren. I'm trying to put these comments up, but I feel like it's messing up my whole video every time I do it. Jules says that Ashes is an achingly beautiful cover. I agree.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
That's another too. Like, it's another one that went there. Hopefully, Celine will do a duet with me at some point. I don't have her number.
You got to get up to Canada for that.
Yeah.
It almost came out my nose.
Maybe you could do a duet on the Titanic door in the ocean.
And then she could just let me sink
And
away.
she just let you go.
Yes.
Blissful.
Oh God, I gotta say, I hate
got
that
it.
movie.
It's a terrible movie, but we got it. But we got the video, guys. Done.
Video.
Done.
Easy.
Done.
Absolutely.
Done.
Draw me French girls.
Right now?
And we've
Yeah.
got
All right.
We got like 15 minutes left.
Where's my drawing stuff?
I need to fix it immediately.
Where's my easel?
you got Tara
Touch my
saying that
easel.
she thinks you should do a cover of Michael Jackson's Thriller. That would be a really fun
would be
cover.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to think about I loved Michael Jackson growing up, and it's interesting. I couldn't even think of what I would do to it. Maybe slow it way down or something. I don't know. My Hungry Like the Wolf. After I covered it, anytime I hear the original track, I'm like, "Holy shit, that's so fast!"
Yeah.
Because my version's like half the speed, you know.
I'm going to play your version on Halloween for the kids.
I like it.
That's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
And Trick or Treat 1,000 times. We can play Trick or Treat over
and
over again.
and over again. With my little Sam. I love him. I'm like, he's a murderer, but he's so tiny and cute.
That's how they get away with it.
Yeah. Even when he took the thing off, I was like, oh, he's like a pumpkin.
I love that he is slowly becoming like the icon for the holiday. Like, you know, we've got the classics like Michael Myers and, you know, Jason and stuff like that, Leatherface, all those guys. But I feel like they're like slashers, whereas Sam feels like the embodiment of the holiday.
Yeah, he's mad.
And he's
You don't celebrate?
And he's got he's like,
I'm a clock you one.
And so he's got the cute and the scary going on. Everything about him is like appropriate in the popsicle knife. Like he's the guy.
I have a lot going on. Cat traffic behind me.
Oh, really?
He's blowing my curtains. There's cat politics happening. There's dog politics over there.
There was Obi on my lap before melting.
Oh, yeah. He's the melting, the forever melting dog.
He is wonderful.
He like 113 degrees. He probably doesn't even care, does he?
No, he does not. He's amazing.
Wants to be with his mama.
All he wants.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, Tara. I keep going into the Matrix. Maybe I'm not real. Maybe that's the whole problem.
Ooh, I like that it's good that it's your last episode for a while, because that'll be like a cliffhanger. Like season, like now you find out if she's real. So that's the hook to keep them coming back. Perfect.
Sadly, I am real. Sadly for everybody, I am real.
I think I am 100%, but I'm like in the high 80s, like that I'm like 88%, 89% I'm real. That's kind of where
I could talk myself out of being real. I think so.
I think being real might be overrated. So I'm like, I'm not pushing for it.
I agree 100%. Yeah.
If I'm not real and I have this day job, that is ridiculous.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be a mess.
Yeah.
If I got this BS going on,
There's one of the ghosts on my Keyport Ghost tour. There's a woman who used to be a receptionist, and they keep hearing her say hello when they walk in the door. And I'm like, could you imagine that's your afterlife, is like greeting people?
No.
Right.
No.
Like, that's it.
No.
That's it.
If my afterlife has anything to do with human beings after the job that I have day in and day out, I'll jump off a ghost bridge or something.
That
Ghost, I would
It's not
just
going
be
to happen.
watching movies about ghosts. Like that'll be that'd be like,
Just haunt someone's house who likes Halloween.
yeah, and I only get like
yeah.
and poltergeisty when they're like talking during the movie. Like, shut up. I'm missing.
Start throwing balls down the.
Oh my god!
Start with a wheelchair and a bag of bouncy balls to roll down the stairs.
Ooh.
You know, they did come out with a Blu-ray of the Changeling finally, but it had errors on it, and I don't know that they ever like satisfactorily like corrected everything. But I'm one of those people, like I am I do buy movies like physically, and especially because I'm always worried they're gonna like get rid of a movie because of its content. You know, like down the road.
Oh, yeah.
What's the first movie you saw that you were like, oh, okay, I love horror movies?
I was a little kid, and I saw with my uncle and my cousins. I saw Phantasm at the drive-in.
Nice.
Oh.
And what the fuck I was watching? And I was terrified, but at the same time, it was this thrill. And I had really awesome parents growing up, and so I got into horror really young.
Us too.
I felt safe. Ooh, that sort of scare was fun. It wasn't scary. It was like I was safe and I had a good life, and so horror movies for me, and that's why now I watch the most extreme of them, because I don't tie it to my life, real life situations. It's all entertainment, so I can watch. You know, I'm like Human Centipede. I love it. You know, I really love it. And
nope, no sir.
No.
But it's like I started so young, and now I'm like,
no. I did too. Come on, that's not an excuse to be gross. It's not an excuse to be gross.
It is a great movie.
Jillian's just gonna come on here and tell you all about yourself, okay?
That's right. That's exactly what I've been looking for. So
I tell you about your life, mister.
I can't.
I don't want to hear it. It's really
I can't remember the actual first one, but I know that like our mom used to have us watch Tales from the Dark Side with her growing up.
Beep, boop, boop, boop.
Still holds up to this day.
Terrifying.
I hear that music and I'm like back there.
And you know the Tales from the Dark Side movie that came out like
so good,
like 20 years ago, and the whole is good. But the last story in particular with the gargoyle is amazing. Where the guy falls and like gets attacked by a gargoyle, and he lives in his.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that because it's been a long time. It's been a long time.
First story is like the Mummy. Remember?
Oh yes.
It's the Mummy in the apartment with like Christian Slater.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
And yeah, that was the first one. I can't remember the next one, but I know the last one is the best. It's just so good. I got that Blu-ray. I think Arrow put it out, and they always put out like quality Blu-rays. So
I love the beginning to the Twilight Zone movie.
Oh, you want to see something?
It's really scary. It's one of my favorites.
That was great.
Oh, it's so good.
One of my favorites, like from being like really, really little, because it scared me so badly, and it's going to sound really stupid, but Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
Oh, that's funny. I never really saw that.
No, I don't.
We moved into a house right after, like when that movie came out. I watched it like as much as I could because it was so creepy to me. And we moved into a house that had vents, and those creatures lived in the vents.
Oh, that was the Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, yes.
We did the remake, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. You're waiting for dudes to come out?
Yes.
Yeah, we just had little centipedes living in those vents.
Oh, God. Oh, they were terrible.
That's great.
Old Jersey houses.
Yeah. I'm sure it's the same here.
No.
Thousand Lakers. No, it's not. Trust us, it's not. No.
New Jersey's its own beast. We only have 5 more minutes, so I just want to. I'm going to try to run the banner here again to check out Andy's Patreon, please.
You can pop me out if you need to.
I might have to because I think that it's going to slow it down. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll just hang out.
Right there. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Get out of here. I'm not kidding when I say it is the best money I spend every month. All the artists that are on Patreon are just fantastic, but especially Andy, and you can download all the music too, so you can take it with you.
Yep.
And
that is a fact.
Yes. The other great song that's on there is Red to Gray, so people should go and listen to that one too.
Yeah, I like that one too. That's one of my favorite recently. There's a song I did called Sometimes. And
that one's good.
That's one of my favorites. And the other one is Flowers in the Midnight Sea. One of my very favorite things I've ever written. It's only available on there.
The beginning to that is so beautifully creepy.
Nice.
That I listen to it before I do ghost tours.
That's awesome. That project is so fun to write, like my God Spare No Better stuff, because the whole idea is to be like as creepy as possible. So
it's much appreciated.
Excellent. Reaching out to my creepy people.
On the Creepy Parlor. So we got Andy's Patreon going on down there. And also you can also find his music on Bandcamp. I'm going to run that one. Is Bandcamp doing the Bandcamp Fridays still?
You know, I don't know that they are or not, but I thought I heard that they were going to continue it, but I'm not sure. But Bandcamp is awesome. The way to look at it is if you listen to music on like Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon Prime, that's the radio. Bandcamp is the virtual record store. Like, it's where more money goes to the artists. I recommend buying all of your digital music there and merch, because you really are supporting the small labels and the artists more directly by patronizing them on Bandcamp, you know.
Awesome. Do you have any new merch coming up on there?
Oh man, I got so much
on the spot.
albums coming out. Like hoodies, t-shirts, I mean, you name it, new cassettes, and like a lot of cool stuff, stickers, you know, all the stuff.
I think the cassettes are really fun because they're just so old school.
Exactly. I like to have so many people like, I bought your cassette. I don't have a cassette player, but I love this thing. It's like I just found a thing you can buy on Amazon that turns cassettes into MP3s. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I might have to do that. Little Bit's asking about Andy dolls.
Nothing yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
If we believe enough, we'll get there.
Yes, that's the thing. You have to look here, say my name 3 times.
Yes. Oh, that's what we say with Little Bit. We say our name 3 times.
Nice.
Yes. Natalie says this has been a great show. Thanks, Natalie. I do have to wrap it up right now because we got another show coming on. We have Where's My Sage coming on next. But please check out Patreon / Andy Deane. Also, don't forget to like, follow, and share WLFE-DB. If you want to check out the rest of this broadcast or the audio only, you can check us out on Spreaker. And this is going to be my last show for a little while. I'll post updates and stuff on the Creepy Parlor on Facebook, so you can keep up with me there as well. And don't forget to go and like The Rain Within on Facebook as well. And while you're at it, check out Psycho Bunny, Psychomantium 13, and PBDC TV. Yes. Any final words, Andy?
Rain Within horror show is coming out in October. That's all I got. I wasn't prepared at all.
Well, thank you so much for doing this and for joining me tonight. This was so much fun.
I really appreciate it, like big time. Thanks everybody that watched. You're cool.
You're cool. Thanks everybody. I'll see you when I see you. Bye.
Thank you.
Are we off the air?